Yes, we can start our Manana. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Yeah, today was story time actually. It was very nice. And for me especially, I had this doubt about why when he's there in all the pairs of opposites, why do we normally gravitate towards the positive? That has been, although there was some little clarity, but it was not there completely. But today it is kind of clarified that based on our swabhava, which is nothing but Satchidananda, this is what we aim at. We are gravitating towards that because that is our swabhava. But it is only because of contact of the sense organs with the sense objects that these pairs of opposites occur. Otherwise, in the absolute, there is nothing. There are no pairs of opposites. So as long as we are in the Maya, in ignorance, we are subject to these pairs of opposites.
Actually, we are creating it ourselves.
Yeah.
All the pairs. That's what I was wondering then.
And it is an opportunity for us to stay equanimous, like a sthita prajna, like the...
Yeah. So, but then in that verse, basically then he says he's part of all of that, right? I mean, that's what I was wondering. Like Manana says that, yeah, he's there. So I have to.
Yeah, even that clarity I didn't get. Like he's in dukkha also, he says, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. Like that was something, and then we went on to that other story. So.
But one thing for sure, my focus is not on studies, and like how Maharaji was looking at the grazing cows, I think the attention is on grazing cows more than the studies.
That is.
It's okay. I mean, it is not to be judgmental and be self-depreciating here. It is only, because you are studying, therefore you are here, Rinal.
Yeah,
no, otherwise you would not be here. No.
Correct.
It is, of course, that study. That thing is happening.
Yeah.
But it seems like you have the attention on the grazing cows. But
yes,
now slowly you will with this knowledge you will refocus. It is there. Correct. Actually, the focus is there. Otherwise, correct, you will not be here in this meeting.
Yeah.
No, when I mentioned that about grazing cows, only because I said that because I felt, it's so difficult to study. You are 24 hours, you are with the book. Then when you see somebody else outside enjoying life, that's what I meant,
My thing is, I think it is totally out of curiosity, because I think I am still at that jignasu, wanting to know intellectually. I mean, I have no shame in saying that, because I'm at that level still, and I'm yet to find where to dig in. Like it's said that you dig at one place to have water in the well, right? I'm still not finding that ground where to. Though I know this is the path, I like it being here, and this is the only way right now I know it. But I feel that I'm at the level where I'm finding still the ground where to begin. I'm jignasu, wanting to know more and more and more, so that I settle and then go deeper into it. Maybe that stage I am in. That's why these unrelated questions come, because okay, what if this, what if that? I mean, these questions
Yeah, I
come,
think
and
in
I don't deny
yesterday's
that.
chapter 2, when we were reading, if I remember right, Swamiji talks of being a mumukshu. So being a mumukshu is with this intense desire to attain moksha, and it is not out of curiosity. So I think when you're a mumukshu, then that curiosity will die down, and it will be that sincere seeking that will begin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sincere seeker, but then I have this curiosity. I mean, what I need is ultimate thing, the mumukshu. I mean, that is what I'm seeking for. But then, where to find? And then, as I said, while studying this, I keep looking here and there. This is the problem, I know.
That Gita is the essence of all the Vedanta, essence of all the Upanishads. That itself is, and because it is Bhagavad Gita, it is directly coming from from Bhagavan.
Yeah.
Everything else like Upanishads and all are because some say a rishi, there's a teacher taught connect there. Whereas Bhagavad Gita is direct from the source. Yeah, so today we have just, we were doing a lot of...
everybody talks about this Katha, Katha Upanishad, that I wrote just few lines from there. Can I read it for you guys?
Yeah, please go ahead. Okay. While I check out chapter 2.
Yeah. A man who has discrimination of his charioteer and hold the reins of the mind firmly reaches the end of the road, and that is the supreme position of Vishnu. Beyond the senses are the objects. Beyond the objects is the mind. Beyond the mind, the intellect. Beyond the intellect, the great Atman. Beyond the great Atman, the unmanifest. Beyond the unmanifest, the Purusha. Beyond the Purusha, there is nothing. This is the end, the supreme goal. So that's what I want to tell you. I mean, there are more, but at least this we can meditate on.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very something that's, and we read this in Bhagavad Gita also, time and again, and Atma Bodh, all the places. But then pretty much if you take it, Upanishads or Veda, I mean, I have not known all Vedas, but whatever I'm reading, it's pretty much saying the same thing, like in a different way. But this was nice to read about it.
So what is the difference between unmanifest and Purusha?
The unmanifest is called Purusha.
Okay. No, you just said beyond Atma, there is unmanifest, and beyond that is Purusha. So is there a difference between that?
Beyond the unmanifest Purusha, beyond the Purusha, there is nothing. I think Purusha is that I thought we are calling Purushottama, right? Purushottama, all that I thought names for the God.
Yeah, I think all that is
limitless
Brahman, Parabrahma.
yeah,
They're all different names given to that.
Yeah. Yeah. But then in this one, it says beyond the unmanifest, the Purusha, beyond the Purusha, there is nothing. So that's the end, actually. Purusha is the end.
The absolute, the limitless.
Yeah, absolute. Yeah, that's the supreme goal. So we want to, be with God. That's it. The final end at his service.
Today, when Nana was talking about this Bhagavan, giving us these instructions, that in that shloka 29 of chapter 9, Maite Chap.
Right. That was nice sloka.
Yeah.
I mean, the verse, yeah.
It felt to me that he is advising himself. The Jiva is nothing but him, but enveloped in ignorance. So he is trying to kind of teach his own self, but that is covered with ignorance.
Which one you're saying? 29th, right? Chapter 29.
Chapter 9.
Yeah, that's Samoham Sarvabhuteshu.
Samoham Sarvabhuteshu.
Name Dvashya. Yeah, Dvesh. Yeah, he doesn't hate anybody, doesn't have favorite anybody.
Yeah.
Dveshyasti na priyaha. Ye bhajayanti tumam bhaktaya maite. Yeah, that's what Nana was saying. Maite tesu cha api aham. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is in me and that? Yeah. All these are so pretty. I mean, it's nice to chant these things once you know the meaning of it.
Right. And like Nana said, from chapter 10 onwards, with all
like
the Sanskrit that we have done in all the Pratipadartha, it will be easy for us. It will be very self-evident. As you're chanting the shloka itself, you'll get the meaning.
I hope so.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And today's Puranas was very good. That is what I have a lot of deep respect for my father, because he remembers these stories with so much of clarity, including their names.
Right. Yeah.
When I compare myself to him, I read, but I forget. I cannot for nuts relate any story.
It is so fun. Yeah, remember I kept asking you about Mahabharata. I still, then I couldn't hold myself to this Vishnu Sahasranama. No, I haven't read it yet. So I downloaded one PDF of that particular chapter as it's called Asi Nanika Parvam,
Yeah, I was sharing that yesterday.
Yeah, that Parvam where this Dharma is asking about which god is we need to pursue or something like that. Then he says about Vishnu. That's when he gives this 1,000 names of Vishnu, and then they do it. I mean, that Parva full of advice. Dharma is asking all the questions, like this one Arjuna is asking Krishna. Like that one is Bhishma and Dharma, all the Dharma activities. I mean, that's a good chapter to read, also another 1,000 pages.
So I did not know till today that Yama, Shani and Ashwini Kumaras were offsprings of Surya.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like Ashwini Kumaras, we talk, that's where the Nagula and Sagadeva was born through Ashwini Kumaras. When through that. And then we also read about Ashwini Kumaras, one of the deities for one of the sense organs, right?
They are the ones who are responsible for taking care of the world, this smooth running of this world.
We also have one of the Ashwini Kumaras for something, I forgot what it is.
For the nose, I think. No, it is.
Nose. Yeah, right. You're right. Prana. Yeah, we kind of kept remembering about the prana, and yeah, that's right. For the smell is Ashwini Kumaras.
The sense organ of smell, the nose is linked to Ashwini Kumaras.
Yeah. For the hearing is Dik Devata, and eyes Agni Dev. Agni,
Right.
Surya. One is no Agni Devata is for Gandha is for the taste is Prithvi, right?
Taste is Prithvi. And this, see, I forgot their names.
Taste is earth. Earth.
Taste, yeah, Prithvi.
And the Gandha.
Gandha now we all are confused.
Gandha is
Prithvi.
Gandha is Prithvi, and taste is the water.
Water. No, water. This is water of these are the Panchamahabhutas, but the relevant Panchamahabhutas are their deities also.
Yeah. For taste, what is the taste for? I know. Well, it will come.
Can you share that in the group? The deities?
The deities, yeah.
Yeah, it is there in the Tattva Bodh. We did that in the Tattva Bodh, one of the shlokas.
The Panchikarana, yeah. Correct. Panchikarana, with that we had all this goddess. Yeah. Yeah, we can share it again.
Vacho Vayu. Oh yeah, that is again coming to
I know. I kind of mixed up with the Panchaputta, and then the deities are different. I had nice correlation between those things, and now it got mixed up.
It is there in that Panchikarana chart. In that it is mentioned also.
It's
which is the sense organ, which is the Panchamahabhuta, and the deity and the presiding deity.
Yeah, I remember for the feet we have Vishnu.
Correct.
And that one I remember. And then anyway.
We need to
revise.
Are we
on? Yeah. Is it the 65 we have to do?
We have to do 65 today.
Yeah, maybe I went to sleep yesterday.
So
okay.
Just
we go ahead with the sloka, and then I will read. Yeah.
So somewhere he talked about curiosity. I think it was here only. Let me just go back 1 second. Yeah, okay. I don't want to dwell too much on this. Let's go to the shloka 65. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyashuhu buddhif paryavatishthate. Prasade, when the mind is tranquil, asya, his, sarva dukkhanam, of all the pain and sorrow, hanihi, destruction, upajayate, is born. He, because prasanna chetasaha, of the tranquil-minded, ashu, soon, buddhihi, knowledge, paryavatishtate, is well established. When the mind is tranquil, destruction of all pain and sorrow happens, because the knowledge of one who is tranquil-minded soon becomes well established. One whose mind is under control directs the mind according to his or her will. Such a person experiences the world through sense organs that are not backed by likes and dislikes. In this way, the raga and dveshas are neutralized, and the person gains a mind which is cheerful, composed, and tranquil. For the person whose mind is tranquil, all the dukkhas, pain and sorrow are destroyed. Although the plural form of dukkha's is used here, all sorrow is the same. One person is crying because he lost the kingdom, and someone else is crying because he lost his car. What is the difference between their two sorrows? Both of them are crying. Does dukkha subject itself to division? No. Sorrow is the same, whatever the reason. Whether you lose your kingdom or your hair, the sadness is the same. What Krishna meant here is that all sorrow, whatever be its source, is destroyed for the person whose mind is tranquil. In an earlier discussion, we saw the three sources of sorrow. Sorrow caused by people and situations in the external world, Adi Bhautika Dukkha. Sorrow caused by calamities over which you have no control, Adi Daivika Dukkha. And finally, sorrow caused by your own body, mind and senses, Adhyatmika Dukkha. Your own past memories or the condition of your physical body create Adhyatmika Dukkha, whereas the dukkha caused by your brother-in-law is an example of Adi Bhautika Dukkha. Any natural calamity is Adi Daivika Dukkha. Krishna said that these threefold dukkhas are all destroyed. Sarva dukkhanam hani upajayate. Although all dukkhas are destroyed when the mind is tranquil, the causes for dukkhas themselves do not go away. They are merely incapable of causing dukkha. The body may experience physical pain, but there will be no dukkha because the mind is tranquil, prasanna. A tranquil mind means that the ragas and dveshas have been neutralized. Desirable and undesirable situations do not cause reactions. All dukkhas are said to be destroyed because the real nature of the self is tranquility, and that tranquility is manifest in the mind. The mind is stifled only because of ragas and dveshas. The fullness of the self, which is its nature, Ananda Swarupa, is inhibited from manifesting in the mind because of raga dveshas alone. The raga dveshas inhibit the fullness, Ananda. When the raga dveshas are neutralized, the Ananda is uninhibited and the mind is tranquil. Destruction of dukkha is said to be born, upajayate, here, in the sense that it happens, it takes place. It is so beautiful.
Sorry, I stepped out. Can you tell me what you read?
This is, in essence, it is when a person's mind is tranquil, prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate, prasanna chetaso hyashuhu buddhi paryavatishtate. When a person's mind is tranquil and is free from raga and dvesha, no matter what he is experiencing in the world outside, he is not subject to sorrow. Sorrow does not take place. And there are three sources of sorrow. Although sorrow is the same, whether it is you're crying for the loss of a kingdom or loss of a car, the sorrow itself is the same. There are no gradations in sorrow, but there are three sources of sorrow: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika is that which comes from your interaction with people and situations. Then Adi Daivika is that which comes from natural calamities where you have no control. And then Adhyatmika is that from your own body, mind, senses. So he says all these three sources of sorrow will be destroyed when when the mind is tranquil. When the mind is tranquil, it is free from the clutches of ragas and dveshas. The moment you have raga, dvesha coming in between as a film, and you're looking at your life through this raga and dvesha, you are bound to be lost in the pairs of opposites. You will experience sukha dukkha. But when your mind is prasade, that tranquility is there in your mind, then you are free from the raga and dvesha, and what you experience is uninhibited ananda, which is nothing but your nature, your true nature.
Thank you.
So that is why there is so much of importance given to taking care of our raga and dvesha, no? Because see, from our previous births, from several births, lifetimes, we've been carrying these vasanas, which are what determine our raga and dvesha. Some of us might like karela, the bitter gourd. In fact, I had a patient who would eat only karela. He would not eat anything, no other vegetable. He would eat only bitter gourd. Whereas the majority of us do not like bitter gourd. All this is again from our previous vasanas. So through the field of activity, we exercise this tranquility so that we free ourselves from this raga and dvesha, from the clutches. Otherwise, there's no point. We'll keep going back in circles. We add on some more ragas, some more dveshas in this lifetime. We have to come back again and again. So the crux here is letting loose the clutches that raga and dvesha have on us. And the solution is to have a tranquil mind, have a equanimous mind. Doesn't matter whether what you like happens, whether what you don't like happens. If you can still take it as prasada, as something that is being as something you get from Bhagavan, then that tranquility develops. That is why karma yoga is important. To get rid of raga and dvesha.
Yeah, you know, it's more like equanimity when you have this. Yeah.
A tranquil mind means that knowledge is not far away. Does mere tranquility destroy all forms of dukkha? No. Destruction of all dukkhas can only happen when there is self-knowledge. Dukkhas go away for the person who has a tranquil mind, because the knowledge for such a person is not far away. There's one more thing in the previous shloka that this paragraphs that we read was pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. It is not like dukkha's are, you will not experience dukkha. You will experience it. There will be there. Sorrow will be there. But it's your choice whether you want to
dwell on it. Or,
whether that will affect you. The body may experience physical pain, but there will be no dukkha because the mind is tranquil. That is why when these great saints like Ramana Maharshi and all, I think even Ramakrishna Paramam, they had a lot of physical pain, but they were beyond that because their mind was tranquil.
Right. They're focusing, which is true actually. You don't feel pain when you're like watching. That's what even this, this Guruji also says. When you're watching TV and all that, you don't have pain. But when you're sitting for meditation or doing pranayama, you're hurting here, your leg hurts here, all this pain comes. So, yeah. So when you're focusing on something else, your mind takes away that your mind is somewhere else, and so it doesn't feel it.
So pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So dukkhas go away for the person who has a tranquil mind, because the knowledge for such a person is not far away. We are talking about a sthita prajna here. This knowledge, the subject matter of which is Atma, self-knowledge, is steady and like space. It just stays. It does not move. The earth, air, and everything else moves, whereas space is always steady. Similarly, the mind of a person with self-knowledge stays. And because the knowledge stays, the mind no longer causes any problem. The knowledge stays because there is nothing to oppose or inhibit it. This means that the very person stays in the form of knowledge. The mind of such a person becomes a useful instrument. Because the mind is tranquil, it no longer causes trouble. To gain tranquility, you have to take care of your raga and dveshas. Whatever is required is what you have to follow, whether it is karma yoga or something else. Only when tranquility is there does the knowledge stay. This means that the knowledge becomes clear, having been freed from all vagueness and doubts. Otherwise, you will always doubt your own knowledge. You will say things like, with this kind of mind, how can I say that I know? The mind itself creates all kinds of doubts, which is the problem. The mind has to gain the tranquility that is the basis for self-knowledge. And to do this, it has to free itself from the raga dveshas. Then all the dukkhas go away because the knowledge stays. Tranquility is the condition that frees one's knowledge from all obstructions. And because of that knowledge, all forms of sorrow are gone and the person is said to have gained moksha. So all the pratibandhakas, all the obstructions, they get, they dissolve, and then that tranquility itself leads you to that knowledge, which is you become jnana nishtha there.
And how does one attain the tranquil mind, it says? Getting rid of raga dvesha.
Raga dveshas. That is, you see, in other words, it is awareness. If you come to look at it from a different angle, when is your mind tranquil? When you're in the moment and you're aware, isn't it? So the more and more we are in the present moment, then we are not swayed by, then our mind is tranquil, number one, and we are not swayed by raga and dvesha. Here again, all the 5 knowledge points of the happiness program make so much relevance here. When you know that the present moment is inevitable, no matter what the situation or the person is, whether the situation is favorable or unfavorable, you accept the situation, then again your mind is tranquil. When you're not being a football of others' opinion, again your mind is tranquil. You're in the center, you're living in the moment. And when you do not see intention behind others' mistakes, then again your mind is free from all this raga and dvesha, and then you're in the center. And opposite values are complementary. So for, you just by following those 5 knowledge points, that is why, it is amazing that Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Upanishads, all the Vedanta. But Gurudev has concocted this into a beautiful capsule, and those 5 knowledge points is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, so beautiful, so true. And you put it so nicely.
Yeah. What is that opposite values complementary? What was the example for that one?
That is, we go through hot and cold, joy,
that's
sorrow.
The same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
the opposites. Okay, got it.
one does not exist without the other. So they are inevitable. They are there in creation. Having and knowing this, you remain tranquil, you remain equanimous. You don't get either too elated when something good happens, neither do you come crushing down.
Right.
And all these 5 points actually bring us to the state of tranquility, the state of awareness, to the present moment. So therefore, the art of living is so beautiful. I mean, even the term art of living that Gurudev has coined is so, so relevant. All we need do is just live. Know that art, that skill of living in the moment.
Yeah.
And when your mind is more and more in the moment, there is only joy. There is only happiness in the moment.
It was so funny that today, like I was trying to do, I missed the pranayama yesterday. Then I was remembering what Madhuriji was saying, like her mother-in-law only learned that, what do you call that? The sky breathing.
Sudarshan Kriya.
Yeah, Sudarshan Kriya. So, since I had this surgery, even before surgery, I told I won't do it very fast or like that. I'm still doing it my own pace. So I was saying to Gurudev, okay, listen, I'm doing this sky breathing. I make sure it's not affecting my surgery or anything. You better be following. You better take care of this thing. I'm doing the pranayama. So normally before that thing, goes, I do that small sitting yoga thing, and then there is one, that in the app, there somebody will be talking about something. Today, you won't believe, I opened my eyes, this Gurudev is saying something. I couldn't believe that, why he's there. Normally some guy will be telling you about some point that you're saying today, right? Like that knowledge point, how
Right.
to make your meditation deeper. Like that, today that Guruji is there. So I said, okay, then he's definitely taking care of me.
Of course, the small mind keeps giving these little doubts. But
no,
time
I mean, yeah, you always like, this, you don't know, what really happened with me that caused this problem. I have no idea why it came in the first place. Then you have to go through this major surgery, and I want to make sure it heals up properly. Now and then I have pain, I worry about, and not, that thing comes, then I would just, okay, forget about the pain. I'll just focus on something else. Like that, I kind of keep moving, I'm not focusing on it. So that way, today I was thinking about, okay, make sure you take care of this. I don't want to go through another doctor and all these things.
Right.
So it was so fun to see, okay, like Madhuriji says, God, he's there, Guruji will be coming and taking care. That was
And
nice.
that is what Bhagwan also says, no? If you put your attention on me,
yeah,
and you think of me and you're devoted to me, there is no way you will be destroyed. There is no way.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, today is like all that things. I did that sasnam, and then my niece called me for the puja. Like she did Lakshmi puja today.
Right.
So I go there, and she says, "And auntie, can you read the Lalita Sahasranam?" Okay, so then I said, okay, I said that read with her and the Namavali and came.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयत शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. Ayuktasya, for the one who is not tranquil, buddhihi, knowledge, na asti, is not there. Ayuktasya, for the one who is not tranquil, bhavanacha, contemplation also na is not. Abhavayataha, for the one who is not contemplative, shantihi, peace, na is not. Cha, and ashantasya, for the one who has no peace, kutaha, how, sukham, happiness. So for the one who is not tranquil, there is no knowledge. For the one who is not tranquil, there is no contemplation. And for the one who is not contemplative, there is no peace. For the one who has no peace, how can there be happiness? This verse is Krishna's ways of praising a tranquil mind, which is prasannata. The word ayukta here means a person who does not have the cheerful, tranquil mind that was discussed in the previous verse. The ayukta is one who has not taken care of his or her raga dveshas sufficiently. It must be clearly understood that what is being said here is in no way meant as a judgment. If this is not understood correctly, a problem of self-judgment can arise as you listen to the Gita and the Vedanta Shastra. I am useless, you may say, because there is already a tape inside. The self-criticism begins immediately. All that the Swami has to do is utter one negative statement and this inner tape switches on automatically. Because I am an ayukta, I will never get this knowledge. Since the tendency is to judge yourself, you must know that what is being said in the Gita is not meant as criticism. Its sole purpose is self-understanding. If having heard what the Gita says, there is something to be done, it is to be done. There is nothing more to it than that. If raga dveshas are there, they are to be taken care of. That is all. This is so, I will pause here. This is so relevant to what we were discussing today and how Nana said, what kind of questions we should entertain, number one. And also to Mrinal, are you there? You're saying, you are not there. No, it is not a question of self-judgment at all. So the whole thing about Gita, and I like this, what Swamiji keeps saying this so many times, whatever is to be done is to be done. Yeah. So
I read this several places.
Several times.
Like
I mean, he says this over and over again. So if we have to do something, it has to be done. It has to be done.
Yeah, because see, now also the question arises in me and then I feel free to ask in this group, especially.
Yeah.
Because
you should.
see, now you
should.
said
Don't
Paramatma.
hesitate.
Yeah, you said Paramatma and then Purusha. I doubt if, I don't know if someone thought about it, but that question arose in me because I thought after Atma, it is Paramatma and that's it. That's where it ends. But then when you said Paramatma and then Purusha, I really wanted to know what is the difference. I'm not doubting.
We'll put
a
question
jnana.
to Nana tomorrow.
No,
no, really. I think it's a reasonable. Then he gives a good explanation also. Yeah. Then it stays in your mind,
So I am looking at the grazing cows, and I'm asking you also to look at it.
No, I will look at it. Like you asked me.
The purpose of Manana, Manana
we all have to understand clearly. Yeah.
Yeah. So this question came, and then see what Nanaji is saying. I do understand, and I really someone needs to guide you, right? He is a guide, but this is what is happening. That also is a truth, and I need to tame my mind. That also is a truth, but this is what happens.
Yeah, what I would think here, as and when even I have questions that crop up. So when a question crops up, because there is, I don't remember in which chapter it is, maybe chapter 6, Pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. So we must approach a Brahmanishta person with Jnana Nishta and ask Pariprashnena sevaya. It is that it is those proper questions. That is also what Bhagavan has mentioned. So when we get this question, maybe we should reflect upon it for a while and see with whatever knowledge we have gained so far, thus far, whether we are able to come to a reasonable solution or reasonable answer. If we are still in doubt, we are still not able to kind of get to the answer ourselves, and there's still that lingering doubt, then yes, go ahead and ask. So I think then that contemplation will begin.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Also, my learning is in English, right? So it's not exactly the verse that's in Sanskrit that translated like this,
right.
So it may be this is actually I got this from Arsha Vidya Curricula or whatever, Gurukulam or whatever. But they have it the whole page about Gita, the Katha, but it's even I have question about how Nachiketa go to the Yaman, all that stuff. So I still have questions about it. It's all in English, they translated in English, those verses. So I'm not sure, but I got the Purusha and Purushottama, all that, when I read Vishnu Sahasranamam, that's how we chant, that's one of the names for the God also. So I thought that's the end of it.
Yeah. For me, as I understand all these names like Purusha, Purushottama, Brahma,
Yeah.
Parabrahma, Atma, Brahman, they're all
They're all the names.
they only indicate the Satyam, Jnanam,
Parabrahma.
Anantam, Brahma. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
they
also
use
the Purusha Shuktam that I posted for you guys, in that one also the God, has 1,000 faces, 1,000 hands, and 1,000 feet. He has it all over the world, all over the place. That's how he is. So that's where they call him Purusha. I don't know that particular name for that's one, I read it, but I still need to. My problem is I don't remember all of that in Sanskrit. Just whatever translation I read, I
correct.
remember that.
So maybe for the Chandas, or maybe for this, like for instance, Purusha Suktam, they had to mention Purusha, or Purushottama. So
Right.
maybe for the Chandas, maybe for the to complete the shloka, they had to use specific words. So probably that is how we have so many names. But I think if we get the essence is nothing but Satyam, Jnanam.
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt. So each name has its own story, its own thing, like one word you read it, you have a quote from Vishnu Purana, and like today, how Nana was saying all the stories, that's how it is, like just
Correct.
one word,
Correct.
So you say Om Vishwasmai Namaha, that one has like one page of explanation about it,
Right.
So yeah, it's not very simple, but you when you read it, only each one has its own significance, So
Which is true, which I agree. Then it is like the vibhuti. No, that's what we're coming to now in chapter 10. It is the various manifestations of Bhagavan, of Brahma, and it is like the glories of Brahma, the glories of Atma, the glories of Bhagavan.
Yeah. Even
And
those go ahead.
when we were talking about these Puranic stories, these are all related to like Surya and Ashwini Kumaras. And these stories have been told by Ashutosh Chawla ji in the series, it's called Nakshatra. It's on the portal actually in astrology section. Under that, these have been taped and put as a course, small courses, like maybe it is 1,500 rupees or something. Beautifully narrated stories. And all these Ashwini, Kumaras, and the other deities are related to different nakshatras. And these are the two series I would recommend if someone is interested in knowing about these deities and nakshatras, how they are related, and how the stories are related. What now just today Nanaji was saying, most of the stories would be there, Puranic stories in that. Very nicely narrated.
What was that? What you said?
Under the AOL portal, go to astrology, and under that you will find this small courses, and it's called nakshatras.
Nakshatras, I see.
Yeah, there are two parts, and both the parts I would recommend.
Very nice. Yeah. So shall we continue? Yeah.
I just would like to request all of you, since it's a Sanskrit week, Sanskrit Saptah we are celebrating, please all of you join Sanskrit Bharati's movement. Very beautiful courses, very dedicated teachers, and very, very interesting way. And once you know Sanskrit, it is so wonderful to even chant these all scriptures. When I'm doing Lalita Sahasranam or Vishnu Sahasranam, now since we know little bit of Sanskrit, although it is just the beginning, I have just started learning, but it's very wonderful. And they are all free courses and amazingly structured with very committed teachers. So yesterday was the Sanskrit day, and the whole week it is a Sanskrit Saptah. So please make sure that we all learn Sanskrit.
Yeah. Bela, just post this link. If there are new courses coming up, just post it in the
That good, Bella.
group.
Thank you so much.
So people who are interested will join in.
Yeah, please. And tomorrow we are, it's not that Sanskrit Bharati is planning tomorrow maybe one more celebration. Yesterday it was there. Yesterday was a Sanskrit day. So if there is tomorrow, I'll definitely share that link also, where they have this celebration of the whole by the people who are working in it, and they are I will share definitely, and for the courses as well I will share the link.
Yeah, that will be good.
Dhanyavad.
In fact, if I remember, Sanskrit Bharati has different courses for Sanskrit. One is learning to speak Sanskrit. Then one is specifically for Bhagavad Gita. Learn Sanskrit for Bhagavad. Let me see if I can get those links and I'll post it.
Is this the one we did together? Is this the one you had recommended me before? And I did two classes.
That is learn to speak Sanskrit in 10 days. That was the Kaksha.
Same Sanskrit Bharati. It is the same organization.
Same Sanskrit Bharati. They have different modules. One module is specifically to learn Sanskrit through Bhagavad Gita. I think that is the name of the module.
Okay.
So then, because there may be people who are not very interested in learning to speak
grammar,
Sanskrit, but they want to learn, not so much into grammar, but they want to learn Sanskrit for, getting deeper into scriptures. So that is also available.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I did two classes and I really felt so nice, but I couldn't pursue it further.
Right.
You need a lot of time. Dr. Mara, you will love this if you are so keen to learn Sanskrit.
I do like to learn, definitely. Yeah.
It's from the people all around the globe are there in the class. You will enjoy interacting, and it's so amazing. And the journey itself is so amazing. Very committed teachers. Very committed.
That would be nice. Maybe you could send me the link.
And you can feel the magic of that language. You feel that life in it. Unlike any other language, you feel lively even during the class. That energy you can feel.
That's very nice.
There's that beautiful song, Nobela, in the class that we sing. I know we are deviating a little bit here.
Yeah. Patham Sanskritam Nityam Vadami Sam. And all prayers are so beautiful.
Yeah.
What time is the class though?
There are different options. You can choose whichever option suits you.
Oh, okay.
I will share the link. I mean, I will share the on the group, please. If I will share
please
the
go ahead. Go ahead and share, Bella.
Yeah, definitely. I will share on the group, however.
Thank you, Bella.
So shall we hold it here? 1 second, let me see. So because I'm an Ayukta, I will never get this knowledge. So this inner tape we should be aware of again. So this
Ayukta is not tranquil, is that it is?
Yeah, the one who is not tranquil in the mind.
Yeah.
Since the tendency is to judge yourself, you must know that what is being said in the Gita is not meant as a criticism. Its sole purpose is self-understanding. If having heard what the Gita says, there is something to be done, it is to be done. There is nothing more to it than that. If the raga dveshas are there, they are to be taken care of. That is all. The word buddhi here means knowledge of the self, that by which you understand the self, the Atma. Adequate knowledge does not take place for one whose mind is in the hands of raga dveshas. For a yukta, the raga dveshas are neutralized and there is no problem. Whereas for an ayukta, raga dveshas are there, causing his or her knowledge to be inadequate. In addition to the knowledge being inadequate, the pressure of the raga dveshas more often than not will drive the person towards the desirable objects to be gained and retained and those that are to be avoided and eliminated. There is nothing wrong, right or wrong about raga dvesha pursuits. This is just to explain how the pressures of raga dveshas work. Because of the natural tendency of the mind towards objects of raga dvesha, there is no yearning for or commitment to self-knowledge. There is time only to nurse one's raga and dveshas. Even if you try to read the Gita, your raga will keep clamoring at you. What are you doing? What kind of book are you reading? It is not going to fulfill any of your likes and dislikes. I have so many things to interest you. In this way, the raga dvesha seated inside you demand your attention so much so that if you begin reading the Gita, you will either fall asleep or feel like doing something else. This is so relevant to me because today we are in forced isolation right now, okay? And I decided today I'm going to read the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm so glad Swamiji's brought up this paragraph today because every time my mind wants to do something else, it will bring me back to this knowledge that it is going towards raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha is going outwardly into the material world, whereas self-knowledge is something that will give you the knowledge, the tranquility. Let me see how many times when I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, my mind goes to the mobile and wants to check what is happening in the world outside.
Yeah, that's true. So our point to take is get rid of raga dveshas. I mean, at least you have to the samattatva or something like that.
But every time I'm going to remember the grazing cows.
Grazing cows.
Yeah, that is so beautiful, Dr. Manana.
No, it is. You won't believe, how many days I used to whenever, those 5 years that I was in med school, we were on the 3rd floor. Like my row is facing the street, the main street and the college. So we had the big yard in the front, the cows will be grazing and the birds will be flying. And we even had a snakes in the back, on the backside, but not outside. So I always, whenever I see how peacefully this, in our mind, the toiling in my head, oh, I didn't study this, oh, did I remember this, or you have to so much to finish. That's how, in the exam time, like you get really like tight. But the once exam is over, all the tension will be over. But before then, we always have to study, study, study. Oh my God. So those days I used to think about what their life is so peaceful. And I am sitting here and reading all these things,
Yeah. See,
So
that
it's
is where,
like,
because self-knowledge requires that
yeah.
amount of discipline, that
Yeah.
Shama is required. Shama, Dhamma are required. That is why the
Yeah.
qualifications for
Yeah.
a student of Vedanta, you require
Mm-hmm.
all those Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shat Sampatti,
Right.
Mumukshutvam, all this. Unless you have this, your mind is not yoked to self-knowledge. When you're
Right.
reading Bhagavad Gita, the mind will go, oh, let me see what is happening.
Yeah.
Check your WhatsApp, or what am I
Right.
doing? Let me go do something else. The mind is such a monkey mind.
Exactly. But then those days, like I won't go out or do other things. Even I haven't even gone to movies or anything like that. All my classmates, they'll go out. Maybe once a year, I'd see one movie with all our class, like whole class will go to one movie in a year. So for that, I'll go. But then the studying is the key part those days, like that was like beautiful. Like I still remember those days, like one couple, old couple, they're poor people, like who's the gardening or they help in the kitchen or something. The old man comes and the old lady, his wife maybe, they take this like a basket on her head, and he walks with this some light or something in his hand. I used to see these two people, they don't have much, but they seem to be doing fine, like why you have to suffer like that, I mean, those days, like it will choke you, like the way you're thinking and all this, you need a moment to breathe. But then, like, okay, I have to study, Hmm. Get through the exam. That's the main thing in my head that time.
If it's okay with everyone here, there are two more subheadings for this shloka before we get to the
Sure,
next.
sure.
Can I read
We
it?
go through. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Desires stifle one's interest in self-knowledge. Raga dveshas being there, one's interest in the pursuit of self-knowledge will necessarily be stifled and one's commitment inhibited. Even if you want to contemplate upon the self in order to get rid of some of your problems, the pressure of raga dveshas makes contemplation very difficult. You find that you are unable to sit with yourself even for a short period of time. For the one who cannot sit with himself or herself, who cannot contemplate, who cannot pursue self-knowledge quietly, there is no composure, no tranquility. Whereas for the one who contemplates upon oneself, for the one who can stay with oneself, there is tranquility and love of oneself. Thus, the more one can be with oneself, the more tranquil one will be. We are not talking about the commonly known self here. We are talking about the real self, the self that is beautiful. The more you begin to understand, the more you begin to love the self. The self, Atma, is not other than yourself. Therefore, self-love comes. And because the self is absolute, the love for it is absolute. There is a lot of talk about the necessity of developing self-love. But how can you develop a love for this limited self that you have with its crippling raga dveshas. Without feeling love for yourself, you cannot sit with yourself. And when you cannot sit with yourself, there is no tranquility, all of which implies an absence of peace and contentment, ashanti. Happiness can only take place in a tranquil mind. A person may say that he or she does not want peace and contentment, shanti, but wants only happiness, sukha. One may say, some people may want shanti, but I am an enterprising person. I want pleasures, joy, and happiness. For me, shanti is useless. But all sukha, all happiness is possible only in a tranquil mind. When you cannot sit with yourself, naturally you are agitated. And when you are agitated, where is the possibility of sukha for you? When you are agitated, there is no sukha. How can a person who is ashanta, who does not have shanti, pick up any sukha? There is no way. Sukha is only with yourself. Therefore, the more you can stay with yourself, the more tranquil you are. And the more tranquil you are, the happier you are. Happiness then is another word for tranquility. Only the tranquil person can discover happiness. In fact, such a person discovers happiness even in small things. He or she does not require a talk show to be happy. Everything in the world becomes amusing to the person who is tranquil. If you have tranquility, the whole world is a continuous joke. You require nothing. It is all there, free of charge. Just open your eyes and you see the joke. When inner tranquility is there, you require nothing to be happy. Whereas, if it is not there, happiness cannot even be bought. Happy hour does not buy you happiness. It only robs you of your money. It may be a happy hour for the owner of the bar, but not for anyone else. For both you and your family, it is definitely an unhappy hour. When you cannot stay with yourself, where is the possibility of sukha for you? One has to take care of ragas and dveshas. Otherwise, they are a nuisance. Therefore, whatever is to be done to take care of them must be done. This may imply karma yoga, listening to the teaching, shravana, or further analysis, manana. How can the knowledge take place? What is required for it to become steady, sthira, and why it can be so unsteady, asthira, is what is being discussed in these verses. Very nice. So having a watchful mind of our ragas, and first of all, identifying our ragas and dveshas. That comes with awareness. No?
What did you say? I'm sorry. I was trying to read the last two lines. So
Yeah.
basically, it says Savana, Manana, and keeping your mind steady. Why it can be so unsteady, Asthira, that's what's being discussed in these verses. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue the rest tomorrow. We'll start with the 67th verse tomorrow.
Maybe we should practice on Ragadeshas.
Yeah, that is the
those. Yeah.
Whole purpose. If we can write down our own ragas and dveshas, our likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
That is why, see, in our happiness program, if you remember those 3 questions that are asked on day 1, one is, what is it that you want in life? What is it that, what are your botherations?
what is bothering you?
Botherations are all our dveshas, no? Every single
That's
thing
true.
that bothers us is something that we are averse to. So we want to keep away all those botherations. So when we list out our botherations,
yeah,
and then what is it that you need to be happy? When will you be happy? So all those such relevance. Oh my gosh, it's hats off to Gurudev to have come up with such a beautiful capsule as the happiness program.
I forgot what it was, so but now you're saying only I can get the recollection of it. Anyway,
the more you go into it, the more it gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
So the one that I think I posted the other that Ramana Maharishi's video, Pure Silence. Maybe you guys try it, like I did, because it's a 1 hour long video. I mean, the meditation. Initially, I didn't do it all all through the hour, but then it is nice actually. If you have time,
I did that. I did that 1 hour long thing, and I'm saying that helped me so much in the way I related to that airport staff when we had to rebook our flights when he had to do something. So I had decided I'm going to show anger, and then went and showed anger. So it really helped. I just happened to do that morning before our travel.
Which meditation is this?
This is what Dr. Mara had posted on Ramana Maharshi's thing. It's about pure silence. It's a 1 hour long
very beautiful.
thing.
Very beautiful. It is very blissful.
Very nice.
Yeah, there are 2 of them. The one I posted one after that, Dr. Brahmara.
Oh, I didn't see that then. I looked at the first one that you posted.
Right. This is the second one. Even more, it's into the silence. So it's really nice. I didn't sit through it initially, but then especially if you do the sky, you start doing that meditation after that. It was really like you can feel like you're centering yourself, and this tranquility that you feel really good. I just wanted, I felt it, so I thought you guys will like it too, so I thought I'll tell you that one. Try
Certainly.
it.
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
Anything on the path of self-knowledge that'll
No,
help.
It's a long, but if you have time, it might work. It may help. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and
thank
Bella,
you so
please
much.
post the Sanskrit class posts.
Yes, I will definitely.
Thank you, Bella. And
in fact, talking of Sanskrit, the Sri Sri Ayurveda college, there was graduation recently, I think 2 days back or yesterday, and all of them, the oath was taken in Sanskrit. It was so good to listen to that oath that was done in Sanskrit. It was on Facebook, and I happened to see that. It was very good. I'm glad that they're slowly and surely reviving the lost glory of Sanskrit. It is said chanting and speaking Sanskrit is like doing mental yoga. And this is research proven. There's so many scientists in Oxford who have researched on Gayatri Mantra. And whether you chant Gayatri aloud or you chant it within your mind, it has an effect that will that improve the EEG waves into making you more alert and more relaxed. So it is really beautiful. We have such a wealth of, and Sanskrit is Deva Bhasha, no? It is good. Thank you, Bella, for that. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Gurudev. Sarvam Narpanamastu.
Yeah.
Jai Gurudev.
So Ram Krishna Arpanam. Thank
Jai
you.
Gurudev. Dhanyavad, everyone. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Jai Gurudev, Doctor.